Speak with purpose. You want to speak clearly. You want to speak concisely. You want to make sure that you're getting your point across with a confident tone and with a little bit of assertiveness. Depending on your situation, I understand we have people that we may want to be a little bit more kind and pleasant with, but that doesn't mean that we have to sound beta or that we have to sound, soft. Speak with confidence and that you can believe in your words and know what you're saying and have a why behind what you're saying. So you want to definitely speak with purpose and have a meaning to what you're saying. That's number one. Number two, own your words. You want to know that what you're saying is true, and you want to speak in a fluent manner and a fluent pace. I know this is not absolutely easy for everybody. I know even myself, I struggle with things like this sometimes because I always might add in a here or there in the process of trying to pick the right words to say the right things, and we're not perfect. So be genuine, speak in a straightforward tone, and speak with confidence. I understand that it takes time for people to develop these strategies and develop this kind of speaking. But the more you practice and the more you try to speak fluently, you'll get better at it. That's a fact. Number three, exude confidence in your tone. You have to use a strong, steady tone and voice so that people will catch your attention. You know what I'm saying? Or, you'll catch other people's attention. You want to make sure that people are hearing you and listening to you when you speak, and that they're gravitating towards you when you speak as well. With men, our voice means a lot, and the way we carry ourselves and approach people means a lot. So when you want to talk to people, when you go to talk to people, you have to make sure that you come in correct and that you come with a tone that says, hey, I deserve your attention because of the way that I approach you and the man that I am and how I carry myself. You know what I'm saying? These types of things get you automatically respected by the time you two sentence into your phrases. Hey, how you doing? And strong eye contact when you're talking to the individual that you're meeting with, right? Number four, you want to choose your words wisely. You have to be mindful that everything you say is a reflection of yourself, and when people think of you, they think back to the things that you told them and the things that you said, and they'll say, okay, this man said this, that must mean that this is what he stands for, so you want to make sure that you are thinking and not feeling. You want to make sure that you're speaking from your mind and from a place of wisdom and from a place of intelligence, and that is kind of going to lead me to number 5 as well. You want to be emotionally intelligent. What does this mean, right? This means that you want to have control of your emotions and be aware of them so that when you speak, you're speaking from a place of thought and facts and not from a place of feeling and emotions, to where as though your emotions can get caught up and entangled with what you're trying to say. Let's go, for example, if you feel upset about, let's say you feel upset about, I don't know, someone letting their dog poop on your lawn, right? On the dog walk, on the walk by. So the emotional response is, clean that FS up, whatever. You might curse, you might blow up in a storm, but when you're someone who speaks with confidence, you don't even need to curse. You say, hey, I noticed that your dog, and you let your dog poop on my lawn the other day. I'd really appreciate if you would pick that up. And it's simple things like that that will change your outlook and change the way people respond to you as well. Because if you come across being emotional, you're going to receive an emotional response back. They're going to respond just the same way that you approach them and the same type of delivery you give them. So you want to make sure that you're coming across confident and respectful. You know what I'm saying? And you're and you have the knowledge to say, okay, I have enough emotional intelligence to not bask myself in these emotions and let them take control of what I'm about to say. Instead, I'm going to compose myself, and I'm going to speak respectfully, and I'm going to speak directly, and I'm going to speak with confidence and assertiveness, so that when I come across, they'll know, okay, He ain't lash out on me. He didn't call me names. He didn't curse at me at all. I know I'm in the wrong. I shouldn't have let my dog poop on his lawn. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And that's ways of how you can control your emotions and make sure you're exuding confidence and that you're exuding respect within your words, and you're exuding that weight that really holds when you speak with confidence and have the emotional intelligence to put your words together in the proper manner. Number 6, maintain a strong body language. What does this mean, right? So I know, like myself, I talk with my hands a lot. I do talk with my hands a lot. Not saying that this is good or bad, but the more composed you are is better. You know, the more composed that you can be, especially in certain situations, you want to seem as composed as possible. You want to make sure your back is always straight. You want to make sure your eye contact is always there with who you're talking to. And you want to make sure that you can hear them and they can hear you, if that makes sense. So you want to be felt and heard, but you also want to be felt through your words. Number 8, stay calm under pressure. Now this is important. I think it goes back to the emotional intelligence factor a lot, because you definitely want to make sure that you're composed in these situations, in any situation, whether it's good or bad. You always want to make sure that you are calm when dealing with situations, because once you let your emotions take control of what you're about to say, not only your actions, but once they take control of what you're about to say as well, that's the starting point of causing you to do something that you'll probably regret later. So we're thinking before we speak, right? We're thinking before we act, right? And what that will cause is for you to say, okay, if I respond in this way, what might that outcome be? You know, if I address this person disrespectfully, or if I react to this situation uncontrollably, what might happen next? You know what I'm saying? How will I look? What kind of man would I be? So you want to ask these questions in your head and then take a deep breath and say, okay, this is how I'm going to address the situation, or this is how I'm going to carry myself. You know, keep in mind, your image is very important. Your image is very important, and it's not so much about, caring about, it's not a type of thing where, I don't care what nobody think about me. You being ignorant, you know what I'm saying, to say something like that. You definitely care about your image. You want to care about your image. You know, your image reflects who you are. Your image reflects who your family is. You don't have to go around caring what people think about you, but you want to walk around caring about what you think about yourself and how you present yourself as a man. It's very important to always stay calm under pressure. Number 9, you ask. You don't need to dictate. So let's go back to the example I gave to you about the dog, letting the dog poop on the lawn, and you come out and you address that situation respectfully. Notice, if you rewind the video, I didn't say, get that off my lawn, or I said, okay, I noticed what you did, and I would really appreciate if you cleaned up after your dog. Right? So you're asking, not dictating. A man with real confidence doesn't need to yell at you. He doesn't need to scream at you. He doesn't need to be aggressive, get all up in your face like that. When you speak with confidence and assertiveness, they say, okay. You know what I'm saying? It already comes off. It already comes off as people are going to do what you need them to do. I know it sounds crazy, but you saying one thing one way and then saying the same exact thing in a different tone will have 2 completely different reactions. If I say, hey, yeah, I noticed that you kind of like let your dog poop on my lawn. I don't know if maybe you mind getting. They're gonna walk away from you. Probably halfway through the sentence, they're gonna walk away from you. You know what I'm saying? You go out there, Hey, excuse me. Yeah, I noticed that you let your dog poop on my lawn. I would really appreciate it if you would clean that up. It's my property. And I'd appreciate if you had more respect for my property. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Somewhere in that realm, you exude confidence. You exude assertiveness. You let that eye contact show. You know what I'm saying? And you keep your composure and you make sure your posture is right. Right? You know, all these things kind of add up to making sure that your confidence is always front and center. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that we don't have bad days. You might be in your head about things in your life that you necessarily can't control. And honestly, I'm going to tell you this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You need to make sure that you're always on your toes as a man and you always have the ability to operate with confidence. That just is what it is. So you ask, don't dictate. You make yourself look weak trying to scream at people. You make yourself look weak trying to argue. You make yourself look weak trying to push people around and be aggressive and dictate. You make yourself look weak because once you get to the point of you have to try to force someone to do things, that means you don't have enough respect or the power to have them do things at their leisure. You know what I'm saying? Just by you talking. Just by you talking with confidence and not raising your voice and not raising your tone. Just for you talking and looking at them straight in the eyes and saying, hey, I would love if you got that poop off my lawn. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, much better response. You know what I'm saying? And they'll respect it 10 times more. Number 10 is one of my favorites, man. Follow through with your words. Follow through on your words, rather, right? A man's word is everything, and it should be valued as such, and it should be looked at as such. So you want to make sure that when you're speaking with confidence, you're also acting on the things that you speak on. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you're standing 10 toes on your word. You want to make sure that people can count on you for your word. You know, I know Jack, he's a solid guy. I know Jack because he got a firm handshake, his back straight when he walk, and when he sit and when he approach me, he always use eye contact and he speaks assertively, he speaks directly. You know, he's clear, he's concise, he's not stumbling and mumbling and umbling. You know what I'm saying? He's being very direct and he's confident. I can tell he's confident. So when people know that about you, it's automatic. It's like when you sit two people next to each other and you communicate with them both, you can tell who's the more confident in themselves just off communication purely. Even if y'all just having a regular conversation about a day or about their week, these things will show. And you need to be mindful of that, right? So definitely always make sure you're following through with your words, speaking concisely, you know what I'm saying, speaking clearly, having emotional intelligence so you don't let your emotions and feelings get in the way of what you're really trying to exude, which is getting your point across and being confident about it, right? And getting the facts out. Stop spurting out emotions. We're not women. I'm sorry, but we are not women, you know? We have to make sure that we're exuding confidence and thinking through these situations in life so that we can execute with a strong mind and strong confidence. This is Brain Cycle. Peace.